Hey everyone, wanted to check in, see how everybody was doing. It's been a while since I have made a counseling convos video, and I figured I'm leaving work a little early today. The sun is still out, so it's good lighting, and I wanted to talk about a topic that I find myself struggling with a lot, and it's an interesting, it's a different perspective on compassion. All our lives we're kind of taught to have compassion and to reach out to others and always be there for people. Well, I've come to find out that we're human, and we tend to run dry. We tend to tap out, or run dry after a while of helping people out, right? We have only so much energy, only so many resources, and so we begin to team up with other people and help each other out in a much bigger way. Well, as a single unit, just the individual, we tend to burn out, right? We tend to not have that much compassion. And there's a concept out there that an old professor of mine told me a while ago, or a long time ago, that humans, we have a limited capacity for compassion. And that struck me. I thought, well, wait a minute. I love people a lot, right? I would like for people to have the best life that they can, be the best version of themselves. So whatever that means I must do, I'm going to put myself out there and try to make that happen, or help people out. I've come to find out that's not reality. We have this limited capacity for compassion. A good example is when we've all turned on the TV or seen a commercial of, a young child with a big old pot belly, and he's, in this little town somewhere, and he has flies all over his eyes, and the commercial says, "Give now, reach out, help, do what you can. Only a couple of cents a day will help." And so you might, right? Your heart will feel overwhelmed by what do. You'll say, I need to help out by giving, by doing something. Now, you flip the channel, you come back again about 20 minutes later, and there's the commercial again. And again, you feel something for that person. You watch it a third time, a fourth time, a fifth time, a sixth time. You watch it all weekend, and come Sunday, you just flip the channel. It doesn't impact you as much. We have a limitation to how much we can feel towards others. We extend ourselves to people. There's only so far that we can extend ourselves. We can only have a certain reach before we need aid or more resources. So how does this work in the world of therapy, where you're taught and trained to always to be there, to sit with individuals, to empathize, to sit in the pain that they're sitting in, but not fully engulf yourself in that to where you're feeling it yourself? Healthy boundary setting. It's something that we all have to kind of practice. Setting those boundaries and making sure that you don't feel guilty about not fully feeling for someone. For me personally, one way that I do that is by coming to this understanding that it's probably not going to be me that brings life change to this person, right? That wouldn't be very empowering. That would have to be themselves that brings that life change. I can empower, I can help out. Another concept for me personally is that I believe in a higher power. So I can remove that weight and that burden off of myself, and know that even if I couldn't help to the fullest extent, I know that something beyond me, or a bigger story than I am, something larger than me, is going to be able to step in and help in one way or another. So I really kind of encourage people, don't feel so guilty when you feel like you've kind of capped out on your compassion towards people. You can only do so much, and I know it sounds kind of odd to say, but you're limited. There's only so much that you're going to be able to do to meet people's needs. You might be able to meet people's needs in one way or another, but you're never going to fully, holistically meet all of the needs of an individual. So we have that limitation. We have that cap. When I'm sitting with an individual, it can be very easy to just sit in the emotion that they feel right then and there. And sometimes it's draining because people go through a lot of tough crap. They get knocked down in so many different ways, and people struggle in so many different ways. So it's difficult to just feel what they're feeling in the moment. To have that compassion just for that one emotion in the moment is draining. So rather than focusing on just the reality of the moment, you look at the larger story. You look at the good times that they went through. You look at the peaks and the valleys, the struggles that they've gone through in the past. So it's a different version of compassion. It's one that's realistic. It's one that involves you in a realistic way rather than this fantastical way, thinking you're going to provide everything for this person and they're going to somehow be fixed or healed, or all of a sudden that they're feeling happy. That's kind of a facade way of thinking of change and transition and healing. So a realistic lens of compassion is one that revolves around the person's reality, the person's story, not one that's just focused on bringing change to the person because of your own self-interest or your bias or your desire for them to get better. Fully knowing that my compassion, it's not always going to cut it for people, and that's okay. It doesn't always have to. And if I live this life where I think my compassion has to be enough for people, then I'm biased. I'm living life in this made-up fantasy, a not real version of life. So my encouragement to everyone, I guess, would be to offer the compassion that you can offer to people, to accept compassion from people, but to know that not one single person is ever going to fully, completely rejuvenate you. They're not fully, completely, 100% going to grant you all the needs that you have in your life. So with that, I'll see you later. Hope you have a good weekend this weekend, and comment below. Let me know if this is something that makes sense, or if this is just a bunch of psychobabble. Let me know what you think. Thanks. Bye.